Scientists believe that the Moon was formed about 4.5 billion years ago when a massive object collided with Earth, ejecting debris that later coalesced to form the Moon. The Moon is about 1/6 the size of Earth, making it the fifth largest moon in the solar system. The Moon's surface is covered with craters, mountains, and plains, giving it a unique and desolate appearance. The Moon's surface is covered in a layer of fine dust and rocky material called regolith. The Moon goes through 8 distinct phases, including new moon, first quarter, full moon, and third quarter. The Moon is in synchronous rotation with Earth, meaning it always shows the same face to our planet. This is known as the near side and the far side of the Moon. The Moon's gravitational pull creates tides on Earth, affecting our oceans and creating tidal bulges. The Moon experiences moonquakes, which are similar to earthquakes, but they are caused by the gravitational interaction with Earth. The first successful mission to the Moon was Apollo 11 in 1969 when astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to walk on the lunar surface. Recent discoveries have confirmed the presence of water ice on the Moon, particularly in permanently shadowed regions. The Moon has volcanic features, such as the dark plains known as Maria, formed by ancient volcanic activity. The Moon has an extremely thin and tenuous atmosphere called an exosphere, composed mostly of helium, neon, and traces of other gases. Over 100 missions have been sent to the Moon for exploration, both manned and unmanned. The Apollo program consisted of a total of 17 missions, with Apollo 11 being the most famous. The Moon's surface is littered with objects from various missions, including spacecraft, rovers, and equipment left behind by astronauts. The Moon is constantly bombarded by small meteoroids and asteroids, leaving behind craters. A lunar eclipse occurs when Earth passes between the Sun and the Moon, casting a shadow on the Moon's surface. A blue moon is a rare event when there are 2 full moons in a calendar month, which happens once every 2-3 years on average. A supermoon is a full moon that appears larger and brighter than usual due to its closer proximity to Earth in its elliptical orbit. The word moon is derived from the Old English word mona. The Moon's atmosphere is so thin that it can't support human life, and astronauts need specialized suits to survive there. A day on the Moon, known as a lunar day, lasts about 29.5 Earth days, followed by an equally long night. The Moon's lack of a strong magnetic field means it's constantly exposed to solar wind and cosmic rays, which can be harmful to human health. The lunar highlands are older and more cratered than the Maria, which are relatively flat and younger. Some craters at the Moon's poles are permanently shadowed, never seeing sunlight. These areas are believed to contain water ice. The average speed of astronauts during moonwalks was about 3.6 km per hour. Moon dust is abrasive and can be harmful to equipment and spacesuits. It's composed of tiny, sharp-edged glass particles. Multiple space agencies, including NASA, ESA, and private companies like SpaceX, have plans to return humans to the Moon and establish a sustainable presence there. Some scientists and organizations envision the Moon as a potential stepping stone for further space exploration and colonization. The Moon's surface contains unique minerals not found on Earth, including anorthosite, which is abundant in the lunar highlands. During the Apollo missions, astronauts used lunar rovers to explore the Moon's surface, traveling a few kilometers away from their landing sites. The Moon's gravitational well is much shallower than Earth's, making it easier to launch missions to other destinations in space. The Moon has featured prominently in the mythology and folklore of various cultures throughout history. For example, in Greek mythology, Selene was the goddess of the Moon. The Moon has been a source of inspiration in art, literature, and music. Countless songs and poems have been dedicated to our celestial neighbor. Astronauts on the ISS often observe the Moon from space, providing valuable insights into Earth's natural satellite. The Moon is sometimes referred to as a space junkyard due to the discarded equipment and debris left behind by lunar missions. The Moon's surface contains a rare isotope of helium, helium-3, which is considered a potential future fuel source for fusion reactors on Earth. China has launched several successful lunar missions, including the Chang series, which involves orbiters, landers, and rovers. India's Chandrayaan-2 mission included an orbiter, a lander, Vikram, and a rover, Pragyan, although the lander failed to make a soft landing. There is interest in harvesting lunar resources, including water and minerals, to support future lunar colonies and space exploration. Researchers are exploring the possibility of using lunar dust to create solar sails for spacecraft, harnessing the pressure of sunlight for propulsion. The Moon's gravitational pull affects Earth's axial tilt and helps stabilize our planet's climate. Many cultures have used lunar calendars for agriculture and religious purposes due to the Moon's predictable phases. Private companies are considering lunar tourism, with plans to send paying passengers on trips around the Moon. Ancient astronomers observed the Moon closely and made detailed records of lunar phases and eclipses. The far side of the Moon is never visible from Earth and was first photographed by a Soviet spacecraft in 1959. Research has shown that the Moon's gravitational pull has subtle effects on human physiology, including sleep patterns. The Moon's water ice could be used for drinking, oxygen production, and as a source of hydrogen and oxygen for rocket fuel. The Moon can be used for timekeeping in space exploration due to its precise and predictable orbital motion. Unlike Earth, the Moon has no global magnetic field, making it more susceptible to solar radiation. Astronauts left retroreflectors on the Moon during the Apollo missions, which allow scientists on Earth to measure the Moon's distance with great precision by bouncing laser beams off them. Studying the Moon can provide valuable insights into the interaction between the solar wind and planetary bodies. The Moon's surface is characterized by mountains, valleys, and impact craters, with some peaks reaching heights comparable to Earth's. Prospecting for valuable minerals and resources on the Moon is a growing field of research and commercial interest. The Moon has a history of tectonic activity, resulting in faults and fractures on its surface. The Moon's surface is constantly bombarded by micrometeorites, which gradually weather and erode the lunar regolith. A solar eclipse on the Moon would involve Earth passing in front of the Sun, casting a shadow on the lunar surface. Companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are exploring the potential for lunar tourism, offering trips around the Moon for civilians. The concept of a lunar space elevator has been proposed, which could significantly reduce the cost of lunar transportation. The Moon's interaction with Earth's magnetosphere is a subject of scientific study, as it influences the charged particles near the Moon. Meteorites from the Moon, known as lunar meteorites, have been found on Earth and provide valuable insights into lunar geology. The iconic Earthrise photograph taken during the Apollo 8 mission captured the Earth rising over the lunar horizon and became a symbol of the environmental movement.